The Department of Home Affairs staff in Gauteng say that more protective measures need to be put in place at branches to ensure their safety. The Home Affairs Deputy Minister visited the Edenvale and Orlando West branches to address concerns raised by employees. Services offered by the department have been limited as a result of the national lockdown. Nosipho Mncube has been following the story.
We are here at the Soweto Home Affairs branch in Orlando West, where Deputy Minister Nosipho has just spoken to some of the employees here that are just servicing people during the lockdown, during the 21-day lockdown. As you know, that services at Home Affairs are quite limited. They're only allowed to issue death certificates, reissue birth certificates, as well as temporary ID documents. But just to speak to me about the conversation he has had with the employees here at Home Affairs in Edenvale as well as here in Soweto, I have with me the Deputy Minister, Nosipho. Thank you so much for your time, Deputy Minister. Firstly, can we just start off with the conversation that you've had with, some of the employees here? What are the concerns that they've had working during this lockdown?
Well, there are concerns that they had raised before, which are around safety, PPE, around the issue of sanitizers. Those issues have since been resolved, as you will have seen that they already have the necessary protective equipment. But what I'm mostly impressed is the sacrifice that they are making to make sure that they leave the comfort of their homes and come and service our clients and make sure that they work with them. And some of the advice that they've given us, we will take it up and make sure that we implement it and find a way of implementing it. Part of the great innovations that they've said that we must look at doing is around the issue of testing for temperature for people who come through our offices, so that we can also expand, information that can be used by the Department of Health. I think that is a sign of a selfless public service that we have.
Other than limiting the services that you're providing to clients right now, what other precautions or measures did you have to take within the department, to try and ensure that you follow the regulations and the restrictions that have been put in place?
Well, from a management level, at high level, top management level, we have had to make sure that our meetings are conducted remotely. Our senior management, they meet remotely. Currently, all the provincial managers with the DDG, who's responsible for civil services, they meet virtually over distance, over the phones and using technology to meet almost every day to identify what are the issues. Also, in our offices, we have trimmed down and reduced the number of staff. If you will have seen, in some offices, we have reduced it from around 30, more than 30, to basically 5 people working in the office, so that we can maintain social distance and so that we can keep our staff safe. We have always made sure that we distribute sanitizers and PPE to all our offices so that our staff can also be able to be safe. We are also using our offices to educate some of the people who are coming through, as you will have seen in Edenvale, where we issue out pamphlets that are educating people about the coronavirus.
We know that the services you're providing are limited to temporary IDs, reissuing of birth certificates, so no new birth certificates, as well as death certificates. Has this been sufficiently communicated with citizens? Have you had people coming in here thinking that they will be provided with these services and turned away and told that they need to return after the lockdown?
Yes, we have had some of them coming through, but it has been very, very, very small numbers. But as we go on, people are now aware in terms of the services that we offer. And we would like to take this platform to make it clear that the services that we offer is the issue of death certificates. Because even if we're in lockdown, people will continue to pass away, and as such, families need to go and claim for insurance, and they need a death certificate to do that. They need a death certificate to be able to be given permission to go and bury. So it's a very important service, and also to make sure that those who have lost their identification documents also have a temporal identity document, so that they can be able to go to the bank, so that they can be able to go and get their grants when the time for grants comes, and also the reissue of birth certificates for younger children. Unfortunately, that is as far as we can go. Obviously, after the lockdown, we will then have a massive program to make sure that we catch up with early birth registration, and we register those children who were born during this period of the lockdown. That will be a special project that we are discussing with the management, and that we will make sure that we implement.
I understand that some of the services you're providing and the limited services you're providing are due to the fact that you can't provide anything more because, you know, there's head office and then the branches and, you know, that communication between the two. Are you planning on fast tracking, you know, the use of digital, you know, channels to try and work faster and more efficiently to try and also, you know, expand the number of services you can provide, given that a crisis like this happens again?
Well, I think from this crisis, it's a very bad situation, but out of a bad situation, you can always learn more. Part of the things that we have learned is the ability to hold meetings virtual. I think that has, this very bad situation has forced us to go that particular route. Also, it then prompts us to think in a different way in terms of how do we offer our services, in terms of physical contact. Are we going to maintain that people must always come to a physical Home Affairs office? Obviously, we are running a modernization program that will see lesser people coming through and more use of technology by our people to get our services.
Thank you so much. That's Deputy Minister Nosipho Mncube speaking to us about the measures that have been put in place at Home Affairs branches to try and ensure that they are following the restrictions that have been set out during the 21-day lockdown, ensuring that the staff is protected during this time, as well as just hearing some of the concerns that they have working so closely with their clients during this time. But that's it from here. Back to you.